We're back.
We are back. Bare bones. Boys are back in town. Welcome to the Cavalry.
Yeah. Just the two of us. If I could sing, I'd sing that song. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. I had 4 fillings put in today, so I am feeling good.
Holy shit. Wow, they went for it.
I'm not a filthy, non-hygienic monster. I had the metal ones from like when I was a teenager, 3 of them taken out and replaced, and then I had one filthy new one.
I don't know. With how much you talk about, McDonald's.
Sugar and garbage.
Sugar and I think 4 fillings sounds...
Well, that was just 1/4 where we have to do it in quadrants. So that's,
oh my God, that's all of your teeth.
No, but that was the only new one. The other one, they're all old. Today was the big project. I was in the chair like over 3 hours.
Oh.
It was brutal.
That's how they get you. You know, they don't make permanent. They don't do it permanently. You have to go back and get them refilled all the time.
Well, I just had so many that they're like, yeah, you're not going to sit here for 9 hours. We'll just divide it up. Plus my insurance, I have to wait for it to reset, so we're going to
Oh,
really
interesting.
stretch it out.
They used to put, my grandpa, I remember, would have gold filling. I don't think they do gold anymore, but it was funny because he used to show off his gold fillings all the time. But they probably didn't have to replace those. Those are probably lasted a lifetime,
Well, no, because I have the silver ones. You can't see them, but I have the silver ones, and that's the thing. They're like, they're probably over 20 years old, and so they don't move at all. Where the new ones kind of are bonded to your tooth. Those are just kind of there, and so stuff like.
So which ones are getting replaced? Like the silver ones or the ones that
silver
are
ones they
bonded?
took out, and then they put in the tooth colored bonded ones.
Do you get the money? Do you get the silver?
I didn't think of that. I should
No,
ask.
you gotta ask. I read that somewhere that these dentists don't offer it. Sometimes they take out gold fillings.
Yeah.
They don't say nothing about it because that's
gold.
I know a person who I guess I shouldn't identify them. I don't know. They probably wouldn't care.
Save it for the Patreon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sweet Patreon content. This is so disgusting.
One of Andrew's friends.
She would go through old teeth, I think dead people's teeth, or maybe I don't know where else you'd get just buckets of teeth. You don't find a lot of just buckets of teeth. So
This story's a lot juicier than I thought it was going to
dead
be.
people. And she would pull out the gold. It was her job to pull out the gold, anything valuable metals out of the teeth. And then, you'd get a cut of it or whatever if you're willing to do the work. But apparently it was very
Did she
smelly.
work for a funeral home or
Yeah, that or a dentist. See, I can't remember. But yeah, one of either for a mortuary or a dentist. But that's what I'm saying. Somebody's getting that gold. That's my point. There's gold in them their teeth.
or silver.
Or silver in your case.
My teeth are second place.
You're like, do you guys have any catalytic converters in my teeth? I heard that's a very valuable metal these days.
Oh, I didn't tell you this. We got a Prius. Well, we didn't get it yet. We ordered it online, so hopefully it shows up. But it's a Prius, and the guy was telling me, "Oh, you gotta watch out for the people stealing your cat."
Gotta get the shield. Get the cat shield.
And I asked him about that. He said, "Nah, they're going under there with a blowtorch. They'll get through anything. They sell locks, but they're not gonna." So that made me be like,
So what is his advice? Hey, just
here's what his
live in
advice
fear.
was. His advice was to take my Prius to a shop, have them take out the catalytic converter, sell it for $2,500, and then put in a $600, cheaper, less good material one. He's like, well, it's going to get stolen. You might as well be the one to steal it.
He's like Nietzsche. He's like, if you hope for anything good in life, that's where you can be sad. So just do the horrible thing to yourself and rip it off like a band. What an awful advice. I don't think you should do that. Get the shield.
I won't.
I think the shield help. Look, I have
How much was the shield?
It's like $200 to save you. It would cost that much, even if you have insurance. It'd cost you that much in a deductible, so you might as well just grab the shield.
But what if they just blowtorch through your shield?
Well, there's probably some. Maybe you can get a shield with some sort of like, sometimes they have bike locks that have warranties. Like,
Yeah.
hey, they can't beat our
Oh
lock.
yeah. And if they do,
If
we'll
they
give you
do,
another
then
shield.
we have a loophole that somehow we will not be held responsible.
Yeah.
But I think all you need, because there's so many Priuses out there, all you need is like a small deterrent. So if you think like, oh, they're like, oh, that one has one of those annoying things, it takes a little longer to get around it, or here's
Oh
one
yeah.
that doesn't, I say go for it. Why not?
All right. You went for it, right?
Yeah, you don't want to look. I got the cheap catalytic converter replacement, the one that I have now. It rattles. It's very annoying. It's the whole point of having a Prius, is a nice, quiet, eco-friendly ride.
So now you have the shield protecting the piece
Yeah,
of shit catalytic converter.
because they'll steal those too. That's the thing. Is once they're down, they
Ah.
see a Prius, and once they're down there, they're not going to just go, I guess we won't take this $600 one. They'll take that one too. So it's like, I just don't want to have to go through this process again.
Oh yeah.
And they give you a sticker that you put on your car, so everyone knows. Don't mess with me.
What does the sticker say? I have a
It
shitty
says cat
converter.
shield protected.
Oh.
Back off,
Oh, I thought
fucker.
it'd be better if the sticker said, I got a piece of shit catalytic converter. Don't bother.
This one's gone. You guys got me already. Please,
Move on.
please. There's nothing left to take. Yeah. Well, Prius, great car. Good choice by you.
Well, by my wife.
Well, yeah, by your
I
wife.
don't think we need a new car, but I don't want to have this conversation another time, so we won't bring it up.
You don't want backup on this?
That's a good point. That should be my first topic. Okay, let's
You wanna
say
just
you have
get
a
into
car
it?
that is sure. Your car has 250,000 miles. It's a 2010 Hyundai Sonata, and it shakes. The steering wheel kind of shakes. I'm so used to it, I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
She says it's scary to drive, and occasionally the window, like to get the window to go down, the window button doesn't pop back up, so you have to pull it back up. And if you don't, then the window doesn't work for like a day and a half. So you just always have to remember to pop it back up.
Sure.
And if you don't, you can just kind of, you know what you can do is you just kind of fiddle with it and then turn off the car, turn it back on, and it'll work. And then also the cruise control, you just have to keep clicking the button nonstop until you see the light pop up because it's finicky. But other than that, it's fine.
It sounds like a great car.
Well, I'm not saying it's a great car, but you don't need a new one. The intention was to ride it into the ground.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you have. But have you gotten any of those things looked at? Like, did you attempt to, like, maybe that would have been the compromise to like just fix some of the problems?
No way. What? There's nothing needs fixing. Nothing needs fit.
Right.
The window, whatever. I'm not going to spend
maybe
any
the
money on a window on a car that's 250,000 miles in.
Maybe the shaky steering wheel. Could they have done something like tighten a few
guess.
screws or something? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know.
that's alignment. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. Every car I've ever owned, I would still be driving my Camry if that hadn't have been totaled, and this Prius will be the last. I mean, they'll have to steal the wheels or something. I don't. I will drive this forever. But 250,000 miles for 2010. I mean, that's doing some road work, my friend. That is a busy comic. Good for you.
Well, the funny thing is, like the most recent year, like it was the first half of having that. I got it in 2011 or 12. I think 2011. And it had like 36,000 miles on it. And right when I got it, I was putting 50,000 miles on it for like, 3 years. And then I kind of slowed down and got to LA because then I would fly everywhere.
Because I've thought about that, because I thought, I know your wife is, concerned, like I am concerned about the environment, and so a Prius is a good choice, of course. Yeah. But I thought about that because I was like, if let's say I had lots of money right now, and let's say I did something other than podcast and occasionally do stand up. No, but I really thought, I was like, what's more environmentally friendly? Like if I go out and buy an electric, like a new electric car, or just keep this car that's already been taken resources to make, right? Some sort of what is actually more friendly? Because to me, it's like, I think if you're driving a somewhat efficient car into the ground is probably better than just like a whole brand new, even if it's an electric car. But I don't know the right answer to that.
That sounds logical to me. That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's backing you up.
Well,
I mean, you had a perfectly good.
You already have the Prius. You're saying you keep your Prius.
Well, yeah, but your Sonata probably was like. I mean, it's not like a Jeep Wrangler or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's decent mileage.
Yeah, the shaky the shaky steering column hurts your miles per gallon. That's a lot of energy going.
Yeah, it could be better.
But no, but like, yeah, I think that there's some nobility in getting the most out of whatever that you buy, trying to like squeeze as much out of it as possible. Because what are they going to do with it now? I mean, what do you do now when you buy a car online? Do you trade it in, or what do you do with the Sonata?
No, we didn't trade it in. I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, I want to just kind of keep it and be like, well, why don't I just burn miles into that until it literally doesn't start anymore? And she's like, no,
keep it for a spare catalytic converter.
Yeah, just keep it for spare parts.
You should be like those people, because you have a big lawn. You should be like those people who just have like old cars and they never. You ever drive by those houses on the highway? And
I always wonder the story. What the hell?
When I was a kid, I used to drive by those houses and I used to think they must be rich. It's like, wow, they have 12 cars. Does Bill Gates live there? But I think it's that thing where it's like they buy a new car, they don't have anyone to sell it to, so they just. People are too far away.
No, I'll probably just donate it to,
Cars for Cash, Cars for Kids,
Cars for Kids or whatever.
The Blind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was thinking I would just put it on, Facebook Marketplace and be like, look, $400, no questions asked. It's a great car. My wife made me sell it.
Yeah.
250,000 miles. It'll get you at least a couple years. Probably.
I sold my mother-in-law's car for her one time when we were all living in Los Angeles together, and they came. It was on Craigslist. I posted it, and the guy didn't even ask for the title, and I was too stupid. I didn't even remember, so he just got the car, no title. He did, and he was so excited.
Ran into problems.
And it was a pretty nice,
right?
Yeah, and we got a good price for it, and I don't know what I never followed up on it, but
that's crazy.
So that guy's got that car, I guess. No, but
so you could take the title and just be like, hey, I don't know where my car is. Someone stole it.
Report it stolen.
Yeah.
This poor guy.
I think it might be this guy that stole it. I'm not sure.
It is weird being like a car salesman in that moment, because you're like, oh yeah, and I knew nothing about cars or about this car even in particular.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it runs pretty good, And then they have to be credulous. They start it and like, oh yeah, it does start. Okay, should we drive around the block and everyone pretend like they know what they're
what they're listening for?
What they're listening for? Sure, yeah, okay, seems good to me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that my first car? I'd never bought a car from a dealership. I never went with my parents or anything. So when I got my first job out of college, I was working at a home loan place, and this girl, Carolyn, I worked with, she was like, oh, you want to go look at Mustangs? Because she likes Mustangs, and I love Mustangs. I was like, you can just do that? She's like, yeah, you just go to a dealership. You can test drive them. I was like, what? So I test drove one. I was like, they finance it for you so I can just, get this? So I got a hard-top yellow Mustang, and it was, I don't know how much it was. And then a month later, I was like, oh, I want a convertible. So I took it back to the dealership, and the guy that sold it to me was like, you're going to be so far upside down. You got to have it for a couple of years and then trade it in. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I went to another dealer on the other side of town, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll do that. And he totally got me upside down. So I was so in debt. I bought this convertible Mustang. I didn't think about insurance, any of that stuff at all. My insurance was ridiculous because I lived in just the worst neighborhood of Milwaukee. And I ended up just having to sell it because it made no sense to have this, convertible in Milwaukee. And when I sold it to this lady, she was like, "Oh, we had to meet at the bank so I could, because I had to like pay off the rest of it to sell it,
Yeah.
He was like, my husband wanted me to ask, is there any way you could come down on the price? And I was like, lady, I am paying $5,000 today to sell this to you. So no, I cannot come down on the price. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. I just thought I would ask.
That's a great negotiation tactic when the person tries to start negotiating. Just go, lady, I'm the biggest moron in the world, okay? I've already screwed myself. I can't. And they go, oh, okay, God, I'm sorry. Jeez, all right, we'll just pay. I bought 2 Mustangs in 2 months. Okay? I'm not coming down on this price.
Oh, but that was my favorite car. Oh my God, it was awesome.
How long did you have it before you realized you had to sell it?
I think I lived in 3 places, so probably 3 years.
What
I moved around a lot.
Well, I'm not laughing at that, but just like the way you calculate time. Okay, so if I lived in 3 places, that was 3 years. I mean, not necessarily.
I was thinking where I lived when I sold it and where I lived when I got the first one.
You're like, no one's ever let me live. No one's ever let me extend my 12-month lease before. So everywhere I've lived is a year. I know that.
I do know that.
That is so. So you just knew because you went to college.
I knew nothing about like my parents growing up. I didn't know how much houses cost. We never talked money. It was all. You're just a kid. You don't need to worry about stress.
Man, and see, they don't teach, like, forget college, high school. That should be like a class. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But like debt and like investing, like how compound interest works and all that stuff. That absolutely should be like drilled into kids early.
I went to private schools and they didn't even have like a home economics. Like, isn't that a class where you kind of learn about that stuff or no?
I didn't have a home ec. I don't know. Maybe there was, but it was like an elective or something. Yeah. The closest thing, we had some weird humanities class that I remember they told us this thing about retirement, and they're like, if you start putting like $100, because we were like 17, 18, it's like if you started today and put $100 in an IRA every month, and by the time you're 35, you'd have $1 million, at this return. And I remember thinking, that's bullshit. There's no way. Who's going to give me $1 million? How is that going to turn into $1 million? I'm going to go to journalism school. That's the only way to make it.
Yeah. Well, then we'll see who's laughing.
Then we'll see who's got the $1 million. But it's so true. And then I saw this really depressing thing where it's like, if you do the same thing at 35, you have to like be like 112 before you get $1 million. At the same, if you saved, like the way the compounding interest is, assuming you both take it out at like 65, if you just saved 18 to like 30, you'd be better off than saving like 30 to 65. Isn't that messed up?
Yeah, I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, well, because like.
What if you
because
just lie
it
about
sits
your
in there
age?
longer. Because money makes like if you're making 15% interest every year, let's say in the stock market.
Yes, I thought you meant it's $1 million when you're 30, but you still gotta let it sit till you're 65.
Right, you still can't pull it out. You can't.
You can't just be like, "Hey, I'm 18."
But see, that's why I think no one does it, right? Because it's like when you're 18, you can't imagine being 65.
Right.
When you're 18, you think at 65, you're like, what would I even do with money? I'm just gonna sit in a chair, And now I think about 65, like, oh, I'm gonna be going places.
I won't need that. I'll be sitting in a chair.
Right. I'll be sitting in my Mustang in the garage.
Yeah, and, tuning it up.
Yeah.
Watching the sports game, sure.
Yeah, But I remember that. I'm like, retirement just seems so. Like, what is even the point? They should just like do like, here's an idea. Let people do like a halfway retirement. There should be like halfway IRAs to get 18-year-olds to save money. So like you say, hey, you can put your money in this thing at 18 and it's tax free if you take it out at 65. And also, we'll give you like a one-time opportunity at 35. You can pull it out, right? Tax, same deal. So then by the time you're 35, maybe you've learned enough to go, you know what, actually, I'm just going to leave it in there. Or you can take it out.
I agree. Or just lie to them and just say, you can have it when you're 35. And then when you're 35, be like, no, you can, what are you, stupid? Come on, we're all adults. You can't take it out now.
Right. Because these people are, obviously we're not smart anyway. We've got people buying 2 Mustangs.
Right. Yeah, that's why I have people like attacking college kids. Hey, free credit card, get a beach towel. Because
it is very
stupid.
I know. It's so predatory. And I remember like I never signed up for credit cards, luckily. And then mostly because I was like, it's got to be like they would offer free stuff, and then I go, oh, that's too good to be true. Like you can just buy something and not have to pay it. And then, but I want to know how long exactly was it between the 2 Mustangs? That's what I want to know.
I mean, it was embarrassingly.
That's what I'm hoping to find out.
Probably like 3 months max.
Oh man,
I want to say 2 months.
Do you think there's a window where you could just take it back and then they would just like do the exchange and give you full? Like, do they give you like a week to drive it around if you change your mind or something?
I don't know. I mean, I bet you'd have to be you'd have to make a case that something's wrong with the first one. I don't think any dealership would ever let you be like, I changed my mind.
I want a convertible. You could have said, I thought this was, hey, I just assumed that this would, you didn't tell me it didn't.
Yeah, that's why where in this paperwork does it say this is not a convertible? This is on you.
I took back my Prius the first time. I was like, hey, no one told me this thing was a dork car that wasn't a convertible. I want a convertible Prius.
Oh. Erin's she goes on Etsy looking at bumper stickers. She's like, oh, I want to get a sticker for it. And she showed stickers that are like, Bob Marley quotes are like, power to the peaceful. And I'm just like, look, people assume you're driving a Prius. They already know. They know they get it.
Right. The Priuses just come with like. They
assume you're the peace.
Right.
Save the world person.
It'd be great if you could get like that seems like an Etsy thing. If you could get like a really worn sort of like Gore Clinton, bumper sticker, like something that like, more off the shows like, oh, we've had this for a while kind of thing. Yeah.
Clearly before they even had Priuses.
Yeah. I don't know, like you don't see, because you see a million Priuses in Portland and Seattle, of course, and you don't see the ones like decked out in bumper stickers, though. It's funny. Like I think like it's more of the like if you have a Prius in Madison or like in Montana or somewhere where it's more like less Prius central.
Yeah.
Then it's like it's more of a like, oh no, I'm making a statement. We're doing this for the environment. Where it's like, I don't know. It seems like less of a. It's no statement to have a Prius in Portland. I mean, it's like
Seattle. Every other car was a Subaru or a Prius.
Yeah, it's the same way here. Yeah, it's like there's no. It's just all conformity.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you. When did you use the?
I don't know. It's supposed to. It could come any day. I don't know. I think that
like Amazon Prime, or how does that get there?
Yeah, they said the 14th. I think is the target date, but they're like, it might be a little before, might be a little after.
Was it the CarMax? Is that what you used?
Oh, it was Vroom.
Oh. Best names. You bought a fake. You got scammed.
We also bought a train on Choo Choo.
We just got this new car on Awooga.com. I don't know, Johnny. Did you check the Better Business Bureau before you gave him your credit card information?
Oh, God.
But that's great because you don't have to negotiate. Right?
Yeah.
Like you just go, this is the price we want to pay. This is the market rate. And then.
Yeah. And then they said that nothing's available in that. And so then we had to up our price. They don't give a shit. Priuses, there's such a hot item. There's no.
Well, yeah, it's good to know they have good resale value. I mean, like, I've never had a problem. You don't see any on the side of the road. I will say, knock on wood, but you never see a Prius on the side of the road. So it's like they are good cars.
You know what's funny? Like you heard about the whole how now it's like probably the worst time in history to buy a used car.
Yes.
There's such a demand because of the shortage of the chips or whatever.
Oh, that's backing you up right there. Economics is backing you up.
I know.
This is just a bad time.
That came up. So I'm on the test drive, and
Patreon.
So I'm on the test drive, and I'm talking to the guy. I don't know how it came up. He's like, "So you're gonna trade in your car?" And I was, "You got something you're gonna trade in?" I was like, "No, I think we're gonna just hang on to it, and then I'll just sell it independently." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea because now you can get a lot of money for used cars. This is like the best time to sell used cars." As he's trying to sell me a used car, I'm just like,
He like
there's so many schmucks out there that need cars.
What kind of idiot would buy a used car right now? Anyway, pretty sweet ride, huh? Just sign right here.
Yeah. Anyways, back to you. Back to selling you this car. But we went to another dealership, and I went. I was like, I had driven in a Prius at the first dealership. I was like, okay, I fit in it. It's a good ride, whatever. We go to another dealership. And I was like, Aaron, you just drive it. You drive. I drove it. It's a different color, different model, whatever, but it's all the same size. I don't need to drive it. So we're about to leave. We're in the minivan, about to leave, and Aaron's like, I think it felt different. You should drive it. I was like, fine. All right, I'll drive it. So I run back in. I was like, she wants me to test drive it. So he's like, oh, great. Yeah, here. Gives me the keys. I get in. I get lost. I realize, my phone is in the minivan because we were leaving. So I didn't grab my phone. I was gone on this test drive for probably, 30 or 40 minutes. I had to go into 2 different places and be like, luckily I remembered the name of the dealership, but I was so mad. Because I was like lost, had no way to call anyone, tell anyone. I assumed that Erin realized when she called me and the phone rang right next to her. I was like, okay, hopefully
she sent the police to look for me. That is got to be the height of frustration, though, because you're right. I was like, I haven't felt that in like 15 years, that idea of being lost in a car because of phones. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that would make that feeling worse is knowing that if I only had my phone, this would be the easiest thing in the world. Yeah. Like, so, yeah, that is extra.
And I'm on a test drive. Test drive like someone else,
What'd you tell the guy when you got back? Like, I got lost.
Oh, yeah.
How far did you go?
Yeah, I figured, huh?
How far did you go? I mean, how do you get
he
lost?
Was like, when he was telling Aaron where to go, he's like, just go here, take a right, and just do the loop. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just try to do what I think he said. So I took a right, and it was an on-ramp to some interstate, and I was like, no. Man. So I didn't know. It was turning, twisting me all around, and I was like, I am nowhere near it. We drove by the previous dealership. I was like, oh, my God. This is bad.
People must have been so shocked when you came in and asked for directions. Like, just Google it, you idiot.
I know. That's the thing is I had to explain the whole story. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, I'm on a test drive. My phone, blah, blah, blah. Here's the whole history.
Hey, this isn't my car, okay? And I don't have any of my possessions with me. Could you just tell me? I was hoping you bought it on that CarMax because I always see the commercials for CarMax or whatever, and it's very inspiring to me, especially when I lived in LA, because this guy, I don't know if you've seen him. Have you seen him? Do you know what I'm talking about? They have a spokesman.
Yeah, isn't it the guy from Review, Andy Daly?
No, this guy, or maybe it's a different thing. I don't know. I think it's CarMax. I don't remember, but the one you know what I'm talking about because he's not a celebrity. He's a guy who he has no charisma. And he doesn't sell it, and he's a little overweight, and he's got like a round, doughy face, and just dark hair and glasses. And he's like, oh, go to CarMax and you get a great deal, and you come. And I was obsessed with this guy because I was like, how come I can't book anything? This guy's doing it, That's what I want. I want to go out for stuff like this where they want somebody who just doesn't bring anything to the table. And I looked into it. I guess he's like some sort of tech guy or I don't know, like tech reviewer or website reviewer or something, and then they were like, yeah, we kind of want to go for the other way. And I've since seen other
dorky, no energy.
Yes. Hopefully, maybe if I'm got maybe it's not CarMax, maybe it's a different Carvana. I don't know. It's one of those things, and you'll know it immediately if you ever see it on TV. He's just like, CarMax. You get a used car. Don't hassle. It'd be really like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
No. Anyway.
Well, I guess I feel backed up.
Yeah, I would say mostly the thing that this is the worst time in history to buy a used car. But congrats, buddy.
Well, when I said I was planning on driving into the ground, and you said it kind of sounds like you already did that. That's sort of.
Oh yeah, no,
that was her stance.
You reminded me. So I'm back on your side.
Okay. All right. So
even though
what
Prius, now we're Prius buddies, and it further strengthens the bond. So
yes,
it's
parallel lives. Look at that, parallel lives.
We're wearing the same shirt tone. Even I mean, this is okay. So here's what I need back up on is we have these neighborhood kids did the lemonade stand, but they went limeade, and it was like cherry limeade. First of all, and so Heidi's like, oh, they knock on the door. They have to go door to door because I'm not going, they know, no, we're not going out. So they know if they knock on the door, they'll probably get us to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, Heidi's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's buy it. We'll have 2 glasses. $2 a glass, by the way.
What?
Pretty steep.
Oh, boy. Inflation.
Talk about inflation.
Holy cow.
$2 a glass. And so, yeah, okay, and it's just, horrible. It's like overly mixed. It's it's no fresh juice. It's not like they squeeze the limes or anything. It's just some crappy.
Well, did you ask to talk to their manager?
They asked us to rate it. And of course they're like out of 10, and I want to be like, 3. This sucks. It's like way too sweet. It's not very cold. But I said 10, of course.
Yeah.
Not looking for a fight. And but it sucked, and now I'm out $4, and it's like, But here's what I need backup on. I think forget lemonade, kids. If any kids listen to this, don't worry about. Nobody wants lemonade. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Just sell drinks that are already like 7-Eleven.
Like Coke.
Yeah, go get some or if you're gonna sell lemonade, just buy them at 7 for like the Country Time ones, and you're gonna charge me $2 a glass. You can still make a profit, right?
That's true.
Get your parents to buy a bunch of crap at Costco and just set up a little, bodega and sell that stuff. Because it would be then I would actually go sell wine and stuff. Like I would actually go across the street. I have to go to 7-Eleven tonight probably, and I would buy that stuff. So that's my advice to kids: is if you're gonna, and I know and I thought about this because I was like, okay, I want it to be bulletproof. Because you'd go, but don't you need a license to sell?
No, you don't. I mean, alcohol you do, but not like Coke.
But no, but I think for to be a store, you need some sort of. But you probably need that technically to sell lemonade too. So
yeah, I don't think that's gonna. You're not. No one's gonna get hung up on that.
Okay. Well, that's my pitch. Just don't sell your crappy, because it's not like it's homemade either. That's my other problem.
Well, I think that's like the angle as to why they get away with it is because people are like, oh, otherwise it's like, well, this is just sheer profit churning we're trying to do here. If you're just got bottles of Coke and you're charging airport prices, so they have to come up with some sort of gimmick, like,
yeah, it's
we'll make a custom coaster for your Coke.
Yeah, there you go.
And you get a custom artwork coaster with it or something.
They could call it like oh, it's homemade Coca-Cola, and just they're just pouring it out of the 2-liter, and you can give it to me in like a little Dixie cup. I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, the whole song and dance, like, oh, we got a lemon tree in the back, and we've been squeezing all day. It's like, no, you don't. You have the same sugary chemicals.
And if you do, fucking gross. Get me Country Time. It's tried and true.
I don't want your fucking lemon out of the dirty ground. No, but yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know.
We had an avocado tree in our when we were renting a small house, like our second place in LA.
Oh,
There's a
nice.
giant avocado. Yeah, that's what everyone thinks. Fucking, we didn't eat one single. We were there a year and a half. Not a one avocado. They were never ripe. They were always all over the ground. It was just terrible. It
Oh
was
wait, they would fall before they would get ripe or something, or
I
why
don't know.
would
It was a shit tree. They were just shitty avocados. Avocados
did you
are
try
gross. But we
once?
never had.
Avocados are very expensive.
I know they. I mean, I don't like them, but Erin loves them, and she was all excited about the tree. And for some reason, we never ate a single one. I don't think.
There's something about like if it's in abundance, you don't want it, but like you have if it's at the grocery store and you would buy it. Like we have a plum tree in our backyard, and it's coming up. It's pretty soon. I don't know, in a week or two. If you don't pull them all off, they'll just start dropping and exploding on the ground and making these like plum, you know, and then it's sticky and messy, and there's just a million of them, and you can't eat that many plum. You know, how many plums can you eat?
Exactly.
And so, what do you do with all these? And it's a huge burden.
Yeah.
They say there's joy in growing your own food, but I did get this living basil because I like basil, you know. And it's I got sick of. I was like, so many people grow their herb. I want to be one of those people that grows their own basil and oregano and stuff.
Ugh.
And I buy the living basil plant every time at Trader Joe's, and every time it dies, and I get so mad.
Oh.
And so it's like, why doesn't this thing survive? I don't know.
That's why they have stores.
I know, but I was like, I could get it for free. I could have unlimited basil in my backyard.
But then it's like maybe it's a lack of self-confidence because I look at it this way, like
I'll tell you what it is. Wait.
Say I eat an avocado and I get sick and I'm like, oh God, this is my own doing. But if I buy it at the store and I get sick, I'll be like, I'm fucking taking Pick and Save down with me. This is bullshit.
But how are you gonna get sick eating an avocado?
I don't know. I'm not
growing in your own backyard. Unless you spraying it with 409 or something. I think the problem is you can't get excited because there's no trees that grow Dairy Queen.
There's no
burgers.
Oops All Berries trees.
Yeah, there's no Ding Dong trees. Or what's the one you like? What's the
Zingers.
Zingers. There's no zinger tree. That's what I was going for.
Oh, before I forget. So these kids, they made you rate. That's hilarious, by the way. They made you rate it. I was kind of new, and I was on the road, name in the Patreon, and I was working with this comic. And I brought my brother with me. I brought my little brother, Ben, with me at the time. And we go do this one-nighter thing. And after the show, he was like, hey, man, I don't, you're working. I was featuring, I think. And he was like, I don't work with, I'm headlining, so I don't work with other headliners. I don't get to see a lot of other headliners. So how would you rate me, like my act that you saw tonight, compared to the other headliners that are out there?
What a nightmare.
I know. And in my head, I'm thinking, I said, I don't know what, I think I was, in my head, I was like, oh, this guy's like a 3 or 4. This guy's not good. It's terrible. And
if you're asking that question, I'm worried about your answer.
Right before I said, I'm not going to say 3 or 4, but I was like, oh, I'll just tell him 7. And I was like, I said, well, yeah, I didn't think very.
There's only one answer. You tell him 10, and then you make fun of him later. That's the only move there.
I was new, and
you do what I did to those kids. You're like 10, and then you go on a podcast and you trash them for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't think he realized I was giving him 4 points above what he desered. So I
That's
go,
what you should tell
7, him. And I saw his face drop, and I go 7, 8, like 7, 8, and he goes, oh, like he was crushed, like he thought, like I did say 4, he was like, oh no. And so then all of a sudden it's on me to make him feel better. And so I start bullshitting. I was like, well, no. You have to understand. I'm like comparing you to like, Steinfeld. And I just start naming all these famous comedians. He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. No, I meant like on the road. And I was like, oh, Yeah, solid 10. It was,
You
oh my
gotta
God.
understand.
My brother was with me. He remembers it. Oh my God, it's so funny.
You gotta understand. Last week I was working with Lenny Bruce and George Carlin. Okay, these are the guys I normally open for. So when you asked me that, it's a different.
Yeah.
You should be. That would have been a way to make him feel better. To go, I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. When I said 7, I actually was thinking 4. I bumped it up to 7, so that you should be really happy actually with the 7.
Huh? Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head.
What a needy, weird,
Yeah, that's a terrible thing.
Ridiculous position to put you in, and odd thing. I remember, I don't know what made me this thing of this, but it's just weird when comics that you don't know very well, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're working together. People might not understand that, but just because you're like doing a weekend together doesn't mean you've ever even hung out before necessarily, right? And that happened to me one time. It's just weird when they like get so in the weeds about like where they are compared to the comedy community at large and how good they think they are compared. Because I remember this guy was telling me how like he was doing his act. I was opening for him, and he goes, "Oh yeah, how'd you like that?" I was like, "Oh, it's great, good job." I was like, wasn't watching. It was like, and then he goes, "And that was just my B material. I have another 45 that's of my A stuff."
Oh yeah, don't do that. Save it. Save it.
It was like, who are you saving it for? You want to tell these poor bastards that they just spent $20 to see your B shit? And who ranks their jokes like that? Who's like, okay, that joke not great. I'm gonna put it in my B set.
Yeah.
To a whole.
That'll be my garbage set.
Like, why wouldn't you just have a set? If you're gonna have like an hour and a half of material and break it up into 2 sets, okay. But you think you would group the jokes somehow like topic related, not by how good.
And even if you do divide it by good and bad, don't have all the top ones in one set and then all the shit in the other set.
Put the bad shit in the middle like the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, yeah. Comics are so weird.
Yeah.
Some of them. Not us. We're cool and regular. Cool guys.
Yeah, we're the cool guys.
Okay, buddy. You have another... What else you need back up on this week? We
gotta figure it out. Okay. Yeah, I do. So, all right. So, you get a receipt or something like a fast. We'll say fast food. Like we'll just say Taco Bell, for example.
Sure.
And it says, fill out this, call this number, and fill out our survey, and possibly win $500 cash prize if you fill out the survey. Right. I do not think that's real, and no one knows anyone that has ever won. What incentive do they have to make that actually be real? I'm not filling out the survey, because I feel like if it was real, I'd have pretty good odds, because literally nobody fills that out, I assume.
I am so backing you up, and it may be real in the sense that someone gets that $500, but it's like my previous guest and good friend of mine, Brant Tobler, always says, like, if you only are hearing about if you're trying to enter a contest of some sort and win it the way they're describing it to you, you've already lost. There's no chance. Somebody's cousin.
Explain that more. So how do you?
So if you're like, let's say a radio contest, right? And you're like, oh, I could call and get free Super Bowl tickets. You're not going to get the tickets. I don't care if you're the 99th caller. I don't care if you're the first caller. Somebody's cousin or somebody's brother or somebody's friend. It's rigged. They're all rigged. Yeah. And that thing would be so easy to rig.
Yes.
Like, oh, fill out a survey and you get that. So few people have ever done that. Like you said, that actually does the customer service survey. Also, like, what is the customer service survey for Taco Bell? I don't know. Like, what are the questions?
I never took it. But they want you too bad. I mean, this one by my house, they pretty much know me. But they'll like circle the number. They'll be like, oh, hey, if you get time, we're trying to get 3 filled out by 2. It will really help us out a lot. Like,
oh, wow.
What?
I've never had it put on me like that. This Taco Bell really cares.
I guess so. I mean, they are very nice.
Or they probably have some incentive to get.
Yeah. You get enough filled out with your employee number or whatever.
But I think the things that work aren't the lottery things. It's like the guaranteed. So even if it's like, hey, get $2 off your next order, that's probably more likely to get people to do the survey than the $500
Yeah, because
lottery.
you ever look at your McDonald's receipt? It's like almost every receipt has, get a, on your next trip, buy a quarter pounder, get a free one. I use those.
It's just I was laughing because you're very good at reading the fine print and the contract details of McDonald's receipts. Not so much on Mustangs. If only you put in this level of scrutiny into the lease agreement on a Mustang.
No, I don't have time for that.
No, but they're totally scams. I believe that 100%.
Like, what are other ones besides those? I can't even think.
Well, radio contest, did you see speaking of McDonald's, there's I haven't seen it, but there's a documentary about
documentary on the Monopoly?
The Monopoly thing, and that was all fixed. And that was like the biggest, I remember when that was like the biggest deal in the world. Yep. And like I had the stickers and the thing and getting the cup, and we went to McDonald's a lot. Yeah. And the idea that we had no chance that whole time, other than remember the big thing was if I got a free French fries and you could go back up and get another round of fries, but
that's like getting $1 back on your scratch off. They just want you to buy more.
Exactly, because what else are you gonna do with it? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't play anything.
Buy lottery tickets at all?
I don't buy lottery tickets. I don't do scratchers.
Do the occasional scratch off?
No, I
have a winning scratch off on my glove box in my car right now.
For how much?
$1. That's why. That's why I didn't cash it in right away.
What were you gonna say? It's like $60 million. I should have brought it. You think I would have brought it up? Yeah, I should get it out of my car before someone takes it. But I don't do I'll bet on like in Vegas or something, because that to me is like more fun. I can see it. You know, I can say you're probably going to lose like 6 times out of 10 or whatever, but at least I can see people winning sometimes and it's happening in front of you. Or like on sports, like it may be fixed. I don't know if you're into the conspiracies and stuff, but at least you can watch the game on TV and you know exactly, for some reason it seems more honest.
Yeah.
But that's what they did. They did those lotteries to get people to take the vaccine. It kind of worked, I guess, so.
Oh, that's right. Us responsible early birds got screwed.
Screwed again. But yeah, no, I think that you're right. I was trying to think of like, have you ever tried doing one? Are you going to try and do it now that you're like for your Taco Bell friends because you know them so well?
Hey, come on, it's me.
Oh.
It's me, Beaner. Come on.
Don't let us down, Beaner. Come on, buddy.
Yeah. No, I won't. But you never hear like when someone wins the lottery, they have to say who it is. Like that's part of the agreement. If you win, we get to publish your name and blah blah blah, so that people know this is a real thing. Taco Bell does not have this.
Well, maybe this is a market inefficiency. Like there's like that's what like professional gamblers try to do. They try to find like the bet that Vegas hasn't thought about enough. Some weird prop bet like, I don't know how many field goals are kicked in a game, and they can find some edge because they can hammer that because it's not common. This is the lottery players' market inefficiency. Like everyone's playing mega bucks, Powerball. You're never gonna win that. But if you enter every customer service thing you can find and go and find other people's receipts and fill them out and just constantly doing customer service, you can win enough, to make a living at it.
Oh wow! To make it, that's a big jump there. I thought you
a modest
$500 once in your life.
A modest.
Hey, I'll do it. I'll report back.
I want you to do it because I'm just curious what the question, like what could possibly. How was your dining experience at Taco Bell? Well,
were you treated well?
They don't let us in the building anymore. Do you guys do any fast food places in Wisconsin let you like actually have dine-in eating? Or are they still all drive-through?
No, they do. They let.
Oh, they do.
I don't know if they cut back because of this, Delta thing. I don't think yet, but yeah,
Yeah.
Culver's they've had Dine In, and I think I've seen
It's
them.
funny because I was like, every restaurant has like before. I don't know what it is. Like you said, the Delta variant or whatever. But like before that, when they weren't even requiring masks anymore in Oregon, every restaurant was doing dine in. There was no restrictions. But all the fast food places still drive through only. And like I was like, they're never going back. They don't want us in there anymore using the bathroom. They're doing just fine.
Yeah,
Keeping it as a drive through. Like we don't need you in here. Taking
less
up
cleanup.
room.
Yeah.
Complaining about we got your order wrong. Just keep it moving. So
Oh, that is the ultimate in a drive. Do you turn around if you get your order
No.
messed up? What do? You just eat it,
no,
right? You just
you
like
eat it or you don't. That's it. Or you go to a different place.
You call.
No, call.
Oh man, if it's a big one, I get home and it's like for all the kids and they forgot something, I call.
What do
Because
they say?
I say, I just got home, blah, 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 blah. And they'll be like, all right, well, we're here. We'll give you next trip. We'll give you, I don't know. Or if you want to come back, we'll give you this bunch of shit for free.
But do you come back or do they remember you or how does
You always
that?
you have to make it sound like a much, much bigger deal than it really is. Because otherwise you're just a lunatic. Like
I didn't even
am.
know those places had like phone number. I didn't know you could just call Wendy's or something.
I'm trying to think of where we had it. One is like sometimes it's like restaurants where we get takeout, and then
Okay,
they obviously
yeah.
do.
I
But
think
I
like
think
yeah,
Culver's. I think Culver's they did, and I went,
yeah,
and they just give you handfuls of free ice cream coupons.
yeah. They
Great.
buy you off pretty cheap.
Yeah.
No, I'm very lazy and I would just rather not deal with it, you know.
If I go to Taco Bell and they don't put the hot sauce in, I've gotten burned so many times because I only get 2 items.
Ironic.
But
Burned from not getting hot sauce.
Right. But it's
So stupid. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your moment there.
I didn't want to just plow through and ignore it. It was that comedic gem. No, but I get 2 items and they require hot sauce. It just enhances the flavor so much. And I'll ask. That's when it pisses me off.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it's in there. And then you drive away and it's not. I just want to. I'll be like, all right, I'm canceling my day's plan and beating the shit out of that person that lied to me. So now I sit there. I'll be like, is it in there? They'll say yes. I'll say, okay, thank you. And they peel off the sticker. They have to put on now that safety sticker to seal it. And I look and I'm like, all right, there it is.
Oh my
And
god.
and more than once I've been like, there's none in here. Oh, really? Oh, sorry about that.
What safety?
I want to be like, no. You don't just say I'm sorry about that. What if I had driven off? You would have ruined my goddamn day.
Do you realize how much power you have? The responsibility you hold in that office?
Give me that survey number. I'm calling right now, you asshole.
Well, that's why they want you to do it when you're happy, because the only time anybody fills out those surveys is when someone forgets the goddamn hot sauce.
Yeah, exactly.
What sticker are you talking? What are you talking about? Sticker.
At Taco Bell, they'll put it in a brown bag, and then they fold it over. They fold it over, and then they put a sticker on it to sticker it shut. So you have to like pull the sticker open. It's like a new thing they started doing when COVID came out, just to like, no one's been in here.
So
I prepared your food, and here it is. No one's been in here.
That is so stupid. The COVID sticker. They do that at hotels. It's funny. Like they'll put the sticker on the room.
Oh, on the door?
Yeah, on the door, and you open it. Oh, brand new room. Like it's a sticker. You don't know what they've cleaned. I could put this back on. I could take a big dump right on the bed and go ahead and put a sticker on the door. It means nothing. Ooh, a sticker. Protocols.
Ooh, maybe that turd is supposed to be here.
COVID protocol.
The new
I don't
room.
know. There's a turd on the bed, but hey, they had the sticker on, so I guess it should be good to
Guess we'll
go.
just sleep around it.
Oh, some of
Oy.
that stuff is very like, you know what else? The COVID protocol, like, look, obviously masks are great, vaccines, best thing ever,
Yeah.
but the COVID protocol that I'm very much over is the QR code menu. Have you
Oh,
been to
yeah.
places where it's like,
Yep.
to stop the spread of COVID, we don't give you a physical menu anymore. Just use your phone to queue. Now you have to go, and the QR code doesn't like instantly pull up a big menu. It just takes you to their website, and then you have to start clicking on things to get to the. It's a nightmare. Just
The
bring
one
back
we
menus.
did, we in Seattle, we went to that bamboo sushi place, and you had to do the QR code. My brother was just like, "No, just give me a menu. I don't have a phone," and so they had to give him, one. But I did it, and it's like you're looking at the entire menu on your phone. You got to like expand it,
Yeah.
and you can't see everything. It's just like, I just have the big menu.
It's no good.
agree.
Just I don't know if this is saving. Again, I'm very suspicious. Somehow the restaurant's got an angle here, and they're exploiting COVID to not have to print menus. I don't know what it is. Look, I don't have a printer. I get it. I hate when people ask me for physical copies of stuff, but
Yeah.
oh, and I have another one. Okay, so this other COVID thing, because we've talked about this before, how customer service they're using COVID as an excuse to mask. So I called the vet today
Uh-huh.
and to make our dog an appointment, Trudy, and no one picked up, and I left, I got a hold message. They put me on hold, and then it was like a recording, and they're like, "Hey, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've been getting lots of calls, so please just be patient with us and leave a message." And I'm like, "Who are cats getting it? Like what? Why? Why would the COVID get more calls to the vet?"
Yeah. Oh my God. That's
But
That's everyone's first call. Oh my God. We gotta call the
that's how bad it is in Florida. The hospitals are so overloaded. People are like calling the vet. Like, do you guys do outpatient surgeries on people ever? Have you ever tried it?
People are just dressing up as dogs.
Yeah.
My dog's not feeling very well.
Take
Can I
a
bring
look
him
at
in?
this. Yeah.
Like, what if he had COVID? What would you do with it?
Boy.
Oh boy.
Well, buddy, I think we're out of time.
I think
friend.
this was a solid one. This was a good one.
This was a great episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We are the Cavalry podcast on Patreon. If you want the post-show banner that's about to come up right now, also that we're about to do right now, also bonus episodes on there every month. So check out the bonus episodes on the Patreon and leave a comment and a review. Come
Leave
on.
a review.
It
Leave
just
a
takes
review.
if you.
God damn it.
You could win. Hey, but did you tell them about our new promotion?
Oh yeah. Why don't you tell him?
If you leave a review, you could win $500.
Yeah, we'll do a raffle. And
Yeah, we'll totally do that. And
we're only going to tell the winner because we don't want them to get like bogged down with harassment stuff.
Right, someone will win. So make sure to leave a review. And thanks you. Oh, do you have anything to plug? Do you have any hot dates?
Let's see. What will have not come out yet?
This is always. I just did a podcast yesterday. A friend of the homeschool with these two comedians.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Do you have anything to plug?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's too complicated. I can't. I don't know. 2 weeks." They're like, "Oh no, it comes out tomorrow." I was like, "Oh my god, thank God!" And I was able to plug my dates. I was like, "What a system you guys have here! It just comes out tomorrow."
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they don't leave themselves a cushion.
No,
I'll be at Laughs in Tucson, August 20th and 21st.
There you
but
go.
I think this comes out on the 23rd. So.
Wait. I want to give one now where it's not where it's too late. I'll be at the. Oh no, I'll just give a real one, I suppose. Jokers.
My wedding anniversary is September 5th. If you want to.
What are you guys doing? You're taking the
I'm
Prius
running
out?
a half a marathon.
Are you really? How romantic.
Yeah, in Milwaukee. We'll probably all go. My sister's going to come up from Omaha, so it's 11 years. It's not
Yeah.
It's fine. We did nothing on 10. Why would we do something on 11?
That's hilarious. If you had the bar was if you do nothing on 10, then 11. You can't do something on 11 because
Right.
that makes 10 look bad.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a fun time. Yeah, Jokers in Richland, the Tri-Cities, Washington, September 24th and 25th. So
Nice.
got time to get to that. And that's it. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks for listening to
The Cavalry.
The Cavalry.